Ambassador Pinak Ranjan Chakravarty, is that also your assessment that the much talked about elections in February and, India expects that those elections will be free and fair and transparent and inclusive, but Awami League is already banned. But that aspect I'll come to in a moment. Do you see a pattern, sir, historically, every time that radical Islamists took over some place, they burnt down educational institutions, libraries, uh, just so that they would erase that culture. Do you see that happen in Bangladesh right now?
Yes, I do see it happening because, as you can see, that the memory of 1971 they want to wipe out. Why do they want to wipe it out? Because the Jamaat-e-Islami was a villain of 1971. They were the proxies for Pakistan's army and killed and maimed and raped millions of people. So they have to live that down. They, of course, have a new leadership now. They also are seeking revenge on for their role in 1971 and on Awami League and Mujibur Rahman and the whole secular sort of feeling that it had generated. And because they want revenge because their own leaders of 1971 who were declared war criminals and were convicted and executed by the Hasina regime. So they basically want to kill Hasina also. And that is why she had to flee. So this is the situation today. Of course, they are ruling the Rus. Now, I won't be surprised if Professor Yunus is found later to be hand in glove with them because he wants political power. When I met him in 2007, when he floated a political party before the elections of 2008, I had asked him as if why he was doing it. He gave me an answer which left me quite astonished. He said that the country needs me. You see, he got the Nobel Peace in 2006, and by 2007, I think his ego had blossomed. And by then, he was told, of course, the Americans encouraged him and others encouraged him, that you are now the true leader of Bangladesh. So, since then, he has not given up the hope of, playing a political role. And his, I think, ambition came to fruition after this student revolution. He was so happy, declaring that it was meticulously planned. In
Yes,
where else but the Clinton Foundation, in the
in the
U.S.
United States.
Because they were one of his favorite. He was one of their favorites, and the Democrat Party even contributed to the Democrat Party.
Oh, absolutely. Many would argue robbing Peter to pay Paul, but in this case, they were robbing poor people in Bangladesh and filling coffers of the very rich in the United States of America, according to reports in Bangladesh, if they are true. But Ambassador Chakravarty, before I bring in, General Bhatia, I want to understand from you, is blaming India without a shred of evidence in the Hadi killing or fueling this anti-India sentiment, is it aimed at benefiting from it electorally in the elections, especially with the Awami League banned? What is the credibility of these elections, sir?
Well, number one, anti-India and blaming India sentiment has long been there. Sometimes latent, sometimes it comes to the fore and is publicly expressed. Because everything in Bangladesh, whatever goes wrong, the finger is pointed at India. That India did this, India did that, whatever it is. And there's this huge sort of narrative about India, the relationship under Hasina, India benefited more, we benefited less. This is ad nauseum, it goes on, this narrative. And hence that narrative is now being revived and aggressively pushed because the younger generation in Bangladesh who have no, perhaps little memory of 1971 is lapping it up because the Jamaat is the one. In fact, one Jamaat leader has gone on record saying that the massacre of intellectuals in 1971 perpetrated by the Pakistan army was actually done by the Indian army. I mean, how crazy can you get when these Jamaat leaders are saying these things? And of course,
So we are
Pakistan's
seeing
hand.
on the streets of Bangladesh how crazy even this generation is. And it's shocking what's happening. Mohammad Arafat, Why did the mob, in your view, specially target the offices of two prominent newspapers, the Daily Star and Prothom and symbols of Bengali culture, sir?
Absolutely, absolutely. Look at that. They first attacked the Bangabandhu's resident and road number 32. They attacked all the secular and pro-71 structures. They also attacked the portrait of the Begum Rokeya Sakhat Hussain, who is considered to be the iconic figure for the women liberation, and they disfigured her portrait. You know, so this is yesterday, last night, they attacked the Chayanaut Cultural Institute, something that represent the the Bangladeshi and Bengali culture and Bengali music and different other art forms. So you can clearly see the target of the attacks. So they want to demolish everything that represent the secular values, because these people are basically the descendant of the same group of people who collaborated with Pakistani army back in 1971 and killed 3 million people. So they believe in the same ideas. Therefore, India has also become the target of the attack.
General Bhatia, in this situation, the challenge for India would be huge. And India did not abandon friends pre-1971. What are India's options right now in this situation, sir?
No, India, India is wait and watch right now. They're honestly Bangladesh in a self-destruct mode. A few years ago, they were the fastest growing economy. They were doing very well. People were being looked after. There was, even reports of reverse immigration from India back to Bangladesh. But look at the state right now. It is total chaos. Like you said, Bangladesh is on the boil, the brink of anarchy. The government is the Yunus government is not effective. They're waiting for the elections. The elections, what happens is not known. But the fact remains that there is a radicalization which is taking over. Earlier, in Bangladesh, you ask someone, he would say, "I'm a Bengali first, I'm a Bangladeshi next, and a Muslim thereafter." But that has changed now. When you talk to people out there, when the things come up, now the radical elements are taking over Bangladesh, and that is not good for the well-being of the people of Bangladesh, not good for the economy of the Bangladesh. And they have to understand that the Bangladesh people are dependent on their energy security, on the water security in India. The energy flows from India. The 52 rivers flowing from India to Bangladesh, and we are there is a cultural affinity between the people of Bengal on either side. So what we see today is not good either for Bangladesh or for the neighboring states of Bangladesh in India.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Before I bring in Ambassador Chakravarty, I want to quickly bring in Mohammad Arafat to understand your perspective, sir, on Nobel laureate, Professor Muhammad Yunus. There was so much expected from him. He had the support of the West. He was seen as this liberal face. He was somebody who could have turned things around in Bangladesh. But when you look at him today, is he unable, is he unwilling, or is he complicit in what's happening on ground?
Complicit. Absolutely complicit. I don't want to say unable. He is the one, what is his source of power? Can you tell me? He doesn't have a political party. He doesn't have a mandate. He's never been elected. So he's deriving his power and the so-called authority, illegal authority, out of this mob, who are the Islamist, radical Islamist mob. And he's just, allowing them to go and create mob and making the judges, forcing them to resign, capturing and seizing the media and the institutions and all that. So this is how he's been running the country. And now it has come on to some of the media houses, those who happen to be softly supporting Yunus, and it is coming on to them. Some of them used to be the critic of Awami League government, which is fine. But this kind of thing never happened during our tenure.